Long ago, in a time of great warriors and powerful rulers, there was a prosperous kingdom called Ile-Ido. The kingdom was blessed with lush forests, flowing rivers, and people who lived in harmony. The people of Ile-Ido were known for their wisdom and bravery, and their kings were respected far and wide. However, hidden deep within this land was a dark secret, a cursed crown that brought doom to anyone who dared to wear it. The story begins with the coronation of a new king, Prince Adetokunbo. The youngest son of the late king was never meant to rule. His elder brother was stronger and more experienced, but one by one they met mysterious deaths. Whispers of the cursed crown spread among the people, but no one dared to speak openly about it. With his brother gone, the mantle of leadership fell upon Adetokunbo. The day of the coronation was bright and filled with joy. People from all corners of Ile-Ido gathered to witness the grand event. It was a big celebration, and the air were filled with songs of praise. But beneath the celebration, there was fear as the royal advisor, Baba Onigbede, placed the golden crown on Adetokunbo's head. A cold wind swept through the crowd, sending shivers down their spines. The sky darkened, and the people felt it. Something was terribly wrong. King Adetokunbo smiled and waved at his people, determined to be a wise and just ruler. But deep inside, he felt a strange unease. He brushed it off, believing it was nothing serious. However, the curse of the crown had already begun its dark work. At first, King Adetokunbo ruled with wisdom and kindness. He was fair in his judgment, strong in battle, and under his reign, Ile-Ido flourished. But soon, strange things began to happen. The king started having nightmares, vision of bloodshed, fire and destruction. In his dream, he saw himself as a monster tearing down his own kingdom. Each night, the dream grew worse until he could no longer find peace in sleep. The king became restless and suspicious. He began to distrust everyone around him, even his closest friends. He accused his chiefs of plotting against him and ordered the execution of those who dared to question his decision. The once kind and just ruler had turned cold and paranoid. The people of Ile-Ido whispered among themselves, frightened by the sudden change in their king. They recalled the old stories, tales of the cursed crown that drove kings to madness, but no one had the courage to confront Adetokunbo, fearing his wrath. One day, a wise old woman named Iya Osha, known throughout the land for her spiritual insights, came to the palace. She was respected for her deep knowledge and the ancient ways, and even the king feared her powers. She requested an audience with King Adetokunbo, claiming she had urgent news. When she entered the grand throne room, the king sat on his high throne, the cursed crown glowing on his head. His eyes were cold and filled with suspicion. "What do you want, old woman?" he asked sharply. Iya bowed low, her eyes respectfully downcast. "My king," she said softly, "I have seen the source of your suffering. The crown you wear is cursed. It has brought madness to every king before you, and it will destroy you as well unless you remove it." King Adetokunbo laughed bitterly. "You speak nonsense, old woman. The crown is a symbol of my power. Without it, I am nothing." "But with it, you are doomed," Iya Osha warned. "Long ago, a jealous prince placed a curse on that crown, wishing to destroy the royal line. Each king who wears it will taste greatness, but will also know madness and death. You must destroy the crown before it consumes you." The king got angry. He refused to believe the old woman's word. Thinking she was trying to deceive him, he ordered her to be thrown into the dungeon, declaring that no one would take his crown from him. But deep down, a seed of doubt had been planted. As the day passed, King Adetokunbo's madness grew. He saw enemies everywhere, in his palace, in the streets, even among his own family. He became obsessed with power, erecting grand statues of himself and demanding absolute loyalty from his people. Anyone who spoke against him was imprisoned or executed. The once thriving kingdom of Ile-Ido fell into chaos. The field went unharvested, the markets emptied, and the people starved. The king, lost in his madness, cared for nothing but keeping his cursed crown, even as it ate deep into his soul. One night, during a terrible storm, the king was visited by a haunting vision. He saw the ghosts of his brothers. Their eyes were filled with sorrow and pain. "Why, Adetokunbo?" they whispered. "Why did you let the curse take you? You could have saved us all." King Adetokunbo woke up in cold sweat, trembling with fear. He knew that Iya Osha had been right. The crown was cursed, and it was destroying him, just as it had destroyed those before him. But it was too late. The curse had taken hold, and there was only one way to end it. Desperate, King Adetokunbo ordered Iya Osha to be brought from the dungeon. Weak and frail, she stood before him, her eyes full of pity. "You were right," the king admitted, his voice broken. "The crown is cursed. Tell me, how can I end this?" Iya Osha sighed deeply. "There is only one way, my king. The crown must be returned to the earth from which it came. You must bury it deep within the Igbo-Iromole sacred forest, where the spirit of your ancestors can guard it. But know this, the curse will not break easily. It requires a great sacrifice." King Adetokunbo nodded, understanding what she meant. With a heavy heart, he ordered his men to prepare for a journey to the sacred forest. That night, under the light of the full moon, the king and Iya Osha led a small group into the deep forest. The trees whispered in the wind, and the air was thick with the presence of the ancient spirits. At the heart of the forest, they found a clearing where the earth was black as night. There, Iya Osha instructed the king to dig a hole and bury the crown. As the crown was placed in the ground, a terrible cry filled the air, as if the curse itself was screaming in agony. With the crown buried, Iya Osha turned to the king. The curse would take what it was denied. To save your kingdom, you must give your life. King Adetokunbo nodded, accepting his fate. He knelt beside the grave of the cursed crown, closed his eyes, and prayed for forgiveness. He took a deep breath and lay down beside the cursed crown. The earth trembled, and the ground swallowed him whole, leaving nothing behind but silence. With King Adetokunbo's sacrifice, the curse was finally broken. The dark cloud over Ile-Ido disappeared, and the land began to heal. The people, free from the madness of the crown, rebuilt their lives and honored their king's memory. The story of the cursed crown became a legend, a tale passed down from generation to generation. It served as a reminder that power, when tainted by greed and darkness, could destroy even the strongest of men. The crown remained buried deep within the sacred forest, never to be found again. But some say that on stormy nights, when the wind howls through the trees, you can still hear the whisper of the cursed crown calling out to those who could seek its power. And so, the tale of Ile-Ido and its cursed crown lives on, a warning to all who dare to reach for power without understanding the price they must pay. Enjoying our stories? Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more captivating African folktales. Follow us on social medias for updates and exclusive content. Don't miss out on the next adventure under the African moonlight.